Alright, so like I was doing earlier, I was telling you guys about the Fox Tango webpage. But anyway, what it does have that's really cool is the service manual, lots of stuff here. Um, it has like pictures of the board. You can just like, look at all this stuff. What I was trying to find was um, the pictures of the boards and stuff like that. I don't know. I've never seen this Fox Tango modification page. Uh, Interesting. Mars cap. Uh, this is the CBers dream page. FT2000 Mars cap A57D 7100. I don't know what a FT7100 is. That's weird. 9000 Mars cap, 1000 MP, 101D, 101B, E, F, primary RL1 modification. Okay, I have not seen that. FT411, FT811, FT. I mean, there's tons. Oh, look at this. They actually have the FT1 expanded RF. So, I looked for this. Really hard to find, as I had an FT1, which I don't recommend anybody buying. It's like it might have been a really nice radio when it was like perfectly aligned out of the factory, but I would just tell you right now that all of the posts that I get from the group that I was on are just absolutely non-stop, like worse than spam. And so I finally had to like unsubscribe from the group because I was so tired of getting all the notifications from the small fringe of group of people that are working on these radios. They're that problematic, and even though mine worked, I just really didn't care for it. So anyway, that's cool to see that they have that in here. But I just want to see all the boards. So their webpage to me is a little bit kind of hard to manage. Let's see. So it used to be that you would just go onto the page and click the 101 page, and it would pull it up, and you would get like this nice, easy to read deal. So we have a backup site. That's cool. A Europe site. That's really cool. They made some changes over the years. So we have a section for the 101 ZD, the 901, and other related radios. Okay, so here's the page. So here's the early, and I have an early. I've got a very early one, and that's how I learned that there was more than one manual. I've got a B, and I've got a couple of E's. I do not have an F. I have a YO100 monitor scope. I do not have the YO101 scope. I have an extremely early FV101 VFO. There is no B after it. This is probably, in all actuality, the B. But the one that I own has silver trim and does not have a letter on it. And they're not the same. There's like almost no documentation on it at all. So there should be somewhere down lower a list of the boards and the differences in the boards and all that. Maybe not. I would like to get one of these dummy loads too. Those are pretty cool. I have the YC601. I do not have a landliner speaker. I have a regular one. I really don't like the landliner speakers. I think they look kind of ugly. Do not have the amplifier or transverters or any of that, or any of the watt meters. Never owned any of the twins. So then let's see here. So I don't want to download anything because I'm like trying to download some software, Ubuntu. I'm putting together a server computer rack type thing. So, God, I don't know where they hid it at. It's strange. So, let me try this. I'm gonna go to a different page. Ugh. Right. Back out of that. Okay. Maybe their stuff doesn't work. Alright. There should have been this page of just like all the Yaesu stuff. And it's like, I don't want the manual. I just want the actual like regular page. So buried on this page that I was on earlier, here's the deal. There's the history of the 101. One Fox Tango, maybe, I don't know. And then you can see here the history of the 101, final amp, extension boards, miscellaneous components, and we got ft101 modules. Okay, so we're looking at here the PB1180 that's missing the transistor in this one. And I guess this is the mixer, but I'm really wondering how the hell it works without that FET. Let's see. So we get PB1180, and where is it? 1080, 1180A blanker, PB 1080A. Oh, okay. 1180A. So apparently the first early one has something different. So the 101B has the 1180B. Now, there's no markings on this one here, and there are some marks on the board. 1082B on the board, 1082B, but that's not anything to do with that. I'm almost wondering if maybe this is the wrong unit out of a different radio completely, because we found that the sound card board on this radio was out of something else. The 1080, so where did that? PB 1082B. Okay, that's what it says on that one right there. PB 1082B. But then we see this. Is there double boards in here considered to be that's a different one? And then is that another board down there? So you got 10. Do we have a 1082B and a 1180? So let's go here and look at the ft101e double EX early. I don't know what serial number I'm looking at here, but I'm going to say it's got to be a later one. Okay, so we have it's not listed on here, so 1180. Here's a 101E mid, and this should be the RF board. 1181B. I don't see the 1180 board whatsoever. Okay, so here's a little information I found. PB modules 1183 and 1180 early. I don't know what this one is, so. And I don't know what that one is because it doesn't have a label. So it says over here, we're looking at the differences between two of them. There's a crystal that's not present on one of them, but that crystal is present in both of our boards. There are no differences between our boards other than the missing transistor. Now, you can see one is socketed and one is not. So what they're saying about that doesn't really matter, but it says if you try and upgrade an early radio with the 1180B, you will have no signal path as the ground on pin 14 of the early transceiver will short out your IF path. There's also, what does it say? It says, you can clearly see on the PB 1180 to your left there is a 636.0 kilohertz crystal that is absent on the early board. This is part of the 6.36 megahertz trap going to the circuit. It is generally assumed that you cannot put a PB 1180B into a early 101 which has a PB 1084. This is true. However, you can put the 1180B into an early unit if you cut the ground on pin 14, blah 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 blah. Now, is this an 1180 or is this 1180B? They talk about an 1180 here, and then they start talking about a B. Here is a 1080A. So these are high frequency IF modules. High frequency IF module, PB 1180B IF, transmit first mixer and receiver second mixer. So this is in the mixer. Now these other ones have nothing to do with this, but the fact that this thing works without that transistor is sort of strange. So these numbers though that are on this board here, that 1082B, I have a feeling you won't find that number anywhere. 1082, let's look and see if anything comes up for a 1082. Filters. Not seeing anything. Okay, so here is the RX unit front end. I guess there's different ones. The contains an RF amplifier, blah 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 blah. Note PB11 can replace 1077B in the early 101. The later board is far superior to the design with an additional local oscillator, 2SC373 diode switching, and 2 FET 2SK19. The change from production from its original 3SK39 to a 3SK40 in the later models. It was later recommended by Fox Tango to replace the 3SK40 with a 3N201 MOSFET that was internally diode protected from static discharge on the antenna and less likely to blow out. An added advantage of the 3N201 was slightly higher receiver gain. Due to the fact that the 3N201 is no longer available, a suggested replacement part is the NTE454 N-channel dual gate MOSFET. I think I have one of those that I bought from Fry's Electronics before they went out of business. I'm not completely sure about this though. So the N-channel MOSFET, and they go on to talk about that. Um, let's see. An improved replacement for the first RF amplifier and the Yaesu ft101 mixer. The MOSFET increases sensitivity, its inputs and diode protection, has a very low noise characteristics. Let's see. Reported that it was the ft101s with the 3 SK39s. RX sensitivity at a higher signal level remains the same, may even diminish by an S unit. Installation could not be easier and involves removing the 3 SK39, SK40, and inserting the FT FET in the socket of ft101e on ft101b and E and F models. For more information on the club, click here to see the NTE 454 data sheet for this device. Okay, I think I have that, like I said, so it may also be because I think the front end uses the same one as this. What I was able to see on one of these was it said NEC and two SK. This is a 3 SK40 or whatever the hell the one is. So anyways, so this one here is the same one that's in the board down here that they're talking about. And these ones here will have different ones in them also. So, we just need to figure out where to get one. I might have something that'll work. So what I do have laying around was from the early 901 days, and these are just possible substitutes. I've clipped them because they're very sensitive. A K45, so I think it's like a Toshiba version of a 2SK or 3SK45. The other thing next to it is a 2SK51. Three SK. Focus. 3. It's also Toshiba Hitachi. So I don't know if any one of these will actually work. I don't know what I did with the other one that I have. I thought it was in my parts drawer. It's not in there. So this one actually looks really new. I don't know. So basically this one is a 3SK40, and if we look at the pinout to that, and we can cross-reference some of these other ones and see if maybe it'll work, and we'll just put one in there. But I don't know if there's going to be a loss or a gain or a problem or, you know, whatever. So here's the 3SK51 datasheet. Silicone N-channel dual gate MOSFET, and it is Hitachi. I thought so. So what we just need to do is see if the pinout is the same. Okay, I can't read that. 1, 2, 3. Are we looking at the bottom of the can here? That's what I want to know. Okay. So I believe that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the tab's right here. Okay, so basically we need to check and see. Let me see if I can open another page. Okay. 1 is the drain, 2 is the gate, 3 is the gate, 4 is the source. Okay, here's the 454 data sheet. Okay. I don't want to see the I need to know the numbers of the pins. So basically, drain, gate, gate, source. Okay. Where'd it go? It literally kicked me out of it, didn't it? Okay. Or, no, we're right here. Okay. So, I think that's pin 1, drain, gate, gate, and source in that direction. So, drain, gate. Okay, pin 1, drain. Pin 2, gate number 2. Pin 3, gate number 1. And then pin 4 is the source. That looks to be the same to me. Yeah, no. Yeah, gate 2 is first. Okay, that's cool. So, I think this one's going to work. Now, I need to look up another one. And that's this other one. I think it's a 2SK45. Or 3SK45. And I don't know. I want to find the actual. Some of these, I don't like some of these pages. I don't like this all data sheet place. They always, their website is either misleading or confusing. Okay, so I'm not really sure what the gain structure and differences are, but like, I don't have anything else related part number. 3SK29, 3SK321. Okay. If we can see this here, let me see if I can read it. Drain, gate 2, gate 1, source. I think these are all going to be the same. Okay. Let's check up substitute. Because if I recall correctly, one of these was a substitute for something in one of the Yaesus. Okay. Data sheet equivalent. I mean, I don't really think it's an equivalent for what I'm dealing with. Okay, so here is this one here, the NTE 455 MOSFET is a replacement for that particular one. So basically, this is similar to that. And if you look at the design of it, it looks a little bit more similar than the other one, which is larger. It's 20 volt, 60 milliamp. Okay, that's cool. This part is the equivalent replacement for the following. Let me see. F3N201. That was the one they were talking about using. SK22, 37, 3SK40, 3SK40B, C, D, K, L, ML, 3SK45. Now I don't know about this 51. So the 51, and K45. These are different ones, but this one actually says K45. 3SK51. I want to see if the 51 is in this cross reference, because okay, it is right here. So basically both of these would probably work, because this is a substitute for those, and this is a substitute for what they're using in the Yaesu. So the pinout is going to be the same. So, well, let's get that thing in there, I guess. I'm not going to film it because I got to be really careful. Okay, so here's mine installed. And so we can see there's 4 pins in the back, and we're using one, skip one, and then the next 2. So I believe I've got it correct. So we'll see what happens. Alright, let's see what happens. Still does it. So that one might be bad. I noticed though that it moved. Alright, so you put the board back in without it. Okay. Alright, so let's make sure that this one doesn't have the problem also. Okay. Nothing. Okay. So this one's fine. Set that right there. So we have the other one sitting there. We have one choice left. We can put that one in there and see if it works. This could be out of a radio that was bad. It could be damaged. It was floating around in a box with alligator clips on it. Alright, we've tried the other one, and we'll see what happens. So, I'm out of ideas here. I don't know what I did with the other one. It's quite possible both of those are bad. I can try pulling this one and pull it out of there and then put one of these in there. I just kind of really don't like doing this kind of stuff. Alright, so I've pulled it out. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to see if it does anything different. I am afraid to plug it into this board because I think this one is defective and maybe destroying field effect transistors. So with nothing in this one, it should do the same thing. If it doesn't, then I think we can kind of go, oh, well, there might be something wrong with the other can. Okay. I hear it. Where was it? Well, that's really interesting. So there. Now we don't even have a marker, as far as I can tell. What band am I on? 40? So the thing actually... It doesn't even function without it, but this one does. Well, that is really weird. Okay. So there must be some differences in these. So now what I want to try and do is, we know that this doesn't work at all without anything in it, not even at all. So I would almost say the radio probably doesn't even work. Let me see what I can do when I put one of these other ones in here. All right, I've got it in there. Let's see what happens. I can do this without even looking anymore. It's ridiculous. That fucker's good. Without it, we had no receive. It's very strange. Okay, let's tune our marker. Okay. So this one won't work without a transistor in there, and this one will. I wonder if we're going to find, if we open that there's a transistor on the backside. That's what I'm wondering. Okay, so since I'm already at it, I'm going to turn this off. I know this one's good. It works. I'm going to try the other one. I just want to see that these things work. Okay, so I've got the other one in there. There's our marker. Turn it off. Sounds like a little less gain. The receiver's quieter on this one. So I had replaced these on a 901 because I thought the front end was bad. I had receive problems. Okay. We're going to leave that right there. I want to put the other one back in because I honestly think this one's crappy. Alright, we got the red top one in there. Put this thing down in here. Okay. I think it has more gain. Now we'll put the original back in. Alright, we got the original in there. Back in here. Where are we at? Okay. About the same. Maybe a little quieter. We get no birdies. Okay. I do not understand what's up with this one, but this is obviously different. This thing's able to work. I'm gonna have to see if I can open up this thing. Maybe right here, a couple screws. Is there something soldered in the bottom here? That's what I want to know. This works. It just has birdies. So interestingly enough, these wires here that we can see, the blue wire and the yellow wire, they're going right to that. But there is no, I don't see anything. I don't see anything added. I don't even begin to understand how the hell this thing could even work. But it does. So this is possibly, in my opinion, an earlier board, so I'm going to have to look at maybe an earlier radio and see if this board looks the same. It's obviously not functioning the same. So I think somebody made some modifications to this board, and now this wire fell off. They can see a drip of solder and some funny modifications that don't look factory to me. So now I got to figure out where that wire went. I've got to check this against another one. I just don't even understand what the hell's going on here. Is this whole board substituting that right there? It almost looks like it to me. And if you look here, these wires are added on. Somebody else did this. I just can't begin to figure out what the hell this is. Obviously, this looks like a new type of board. Maybe some kind of 101 modification. There's a brown wire here. I do see that, and then you have these other wires, but that's it. So these aren't the same. I don't know what I'm dealing with here. And now I'm going to have to play detective to figure out where that blue wire was. But I have a pretty good idea it went to the outer pin of the socket. So I don't really see how this is a replacement for a MOSFET. This is quite a bit more complex. And this is a 1496 or a 7919, whatever the hell that is. Anyway, this is definitely weird. Okay, so this is the inside of this one. So apparently they're quite different. I don't know which one's what, but anyway. Yep.